By the power of bone broth, I'm gonna knock these pillars down. Hey, did you hear about what's going on in Seattle? Isn't it crazy? No, my question is, free speech, is it free? And the freedom of religion, meaning you get to worship God any way you want to, do we still have those rights in America? Or are those for everybody else except for Christians? The reason I ask is, a church in Seattle, doing exactly what the church is supposed to do, finally, thank you church, they have pulled a permit to have an event in a park to give away haircuts for kids, bicycles, and free food to anybody that needed it. You didn't have to fill out no forms, prove that you were poor, just show up, say you're hungry, they were gonna give you food. They also were gonna sing songs, hymns, worship songs, and if you wanted prayer or counseling, they had that, because they're a church, that's what they do. They went to the city, asked for a permit, the city's like, well, you can't go where you wanna go, you're too big of a group, so we're gonna send you to this park. That park just happened to be the park that the mayor of the city designated or dedicated to the LGBTQ community. During the event, people started showing up from the LGBT community. Antifa started showing up. Now, these people planned this out. They filled up water balloons with urine, right? They took the time. They planned this out. This wasn't like, hey, look at a bunch of Christians. Let's go over there and protest them. No, this was a planned attack on somebody's event. Now, during the attack, during the anti-protest, they call it, they beat up a bunch of Christians. They assaulted and beat up cops. Many people were arrested. People went to the hospital. After it was over, this is where it gets disgusting. The mayor of Seattle said it's the Christians' fault. They shouldn't have had an event in our city. They know they're not welcome here. It goes against everything we stand for. Now, they came out and said that there were third-party actors in the crowd. It wasn't the LGBT community. They were innocent. They were just anti-protesters to the protest. And the church was like, hold on, we weren't protesting nothing. We were doing what churches are supposed to do, that the Bible tells us to do. We were showing the love and compassion, feeding the needy, helping the poor, everything that we're supposed to be doing, we were doing it in love. And then we got attacked. And the mayor and the city council were like, no, they were protesting LGBTQ and biracial people because I'm biracial and they don't like me as the mayor. And the Christians were like, no, we weren't. We were just having an event. They had a second event. Now this was a protest. Antifa and LGBT and everybody came out again. The cool thing is a bunch of people from the LGBT community and all different ethnicities, races, creed, color, everybody. Thousands of them came out to City Hall, to the steps, and marched and stood with the Christians. They were like, hey, listen, we don't believe what y'all believe, but we believe y'all have the right to believe what y'all believe, and y'all should not have been attacked, and the mayor should not have put out that statement. Now the mayor gets really mad, doubles down, says we're not pulling permits for religious groups anymore. No more religious groups can get a permit to have an event in the city of Seattle. What? That's a violation of the Constitution. Why aren't they talking about this? Why is not every media outlet covering it? Now imagine if the roles had been reversed. Imagine if there was a pride event or a whatever event, anything, a Muslim, Jew, anything, and a bunch of Christians showed up and just started beating people up and walking around with crosses and just messing people up. It would be a hate crime. Or how about this? How about if just a couple Jewish people or a couple homosexual people were walking down the sidewalk and I run over there, boom, 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 beat them up for being homosexual. It's called a hate crime. And I go to jail with a more severe sentence because I committed not just a crime of hate, right? People are protected in our country against hate crimes. It's part of who we are. Now, I would be this passionate if it was the other way around, because this isn't right. This is not what we, the people, stand for. It's not about Republican and Democrat. It's about us versus them. I just want to know where all the Trumps, not Trump, yeah, it's Trump. Where's Trump and the other guy that runs around for civil rights violations? Where are they right now? Oh, it don't matter because it was Christians? The other thing that's got me thinking my thinker, remember back on January 6th, when all the moms and the grandmas and the fat people and all the other people just walking around with the cameras and the photographs, and they're walking around the Capitol, they got hats on and flower shirts on, and then all of a sudden, they're busted up in the Capitol, and all that violence happened, and they were like, no, we promised we weren't there to protest it. We were just walking around peaceful. And then there were people in the crowd, like, this all just, like, started. Everybody in the media called them crazy, called them liars, called them maggots, called them cult members, called them, the worst thing since, the Civil War. I mean, they just went on and on and on and on. But now that the LGBT community created violence against Christians, now they're pushing the narrative. It wasn't their fault. There were third-party actors that we have to identify. They were the ones causing the trouble and the violence. Nobody was doing anything wrong on the anti-protest side. It was third-party actors. Well, how come the people at the Capitol didn't get that same opportunity for defense? Just make it make sense. Somebody make it make sense. Remember, it's we the people. We got to stick together.